Welcome back to another episode of Project Bravo. This episode, we're getting the engine out. Might need a bucket.
Yeah, I made a mistake. Fuck. Rookie error. So I did the stupid thing and I didn't put a bucket underneath the engine. Has coolant everywhere. Rookie mistake. So quick tip, always use a bucket. Do not do what I just did and leave coolant everywhere. Don't do what I did. Alright, so I got my oil filter here as a remote filter setup on it and my oil pressure sensor. So this is what was faulty before when my gauge was going 0 to 20, 0 to 20. This is screwed. I've got to replace that. These lines, well these fittings, sorry. These fittings that are here go to my transcooler. Goes in here, out here. This is where I'm getting my oil feed for the turbo. It's off the side of the block with the T-piece, which is where the oil pressure sensor is supposed to be. So I'll put one there. Doesn't look too bad. Timing chain's all good. Doesn't seem to be any problems with the valves or the rockers. So as far as I know, this is a brand new head. Been reconditioned and everything, new valves and all that. Done by my mate that used to own this. It looks in top-notch condition, eh? Alright, so engine is almost ready to come out. Still got a couple of ground cables, couple of little bolts here and there. Air conditioning's got to be undone. Radiator and everything's got to come out. And then I've got to go underneath, get the gearbox, cross member and everything undone, and tail shaft. Seems like a lot, but there actually isn't much left. And then this engine will come out and start playing around with the engine bay. Beautiful on jack stands now. Time to get underneath it and try to get this gearbox and stuff out. Now whenever working underneath the car, make sure you have a jack stand. It's very, very important that you use jack stands when getting underneath the car. When you put the jack stands on, make sure it doesn't move around, it's pretty sturdy before you get underneath, because it's pretty risky getting underneath the car that's on jack stands. So yeah, always make sure. Safety is key. Alright, got to get the shifter out, get it out of the gearbox, so when I drop the gearbox, the shifter doesn't go with it. One thing I can't stress enough, especially being underneath a car, taking the gearbox or anything out, wear protection. These will save your eyes, because there's nothing worse than getting dust and grime and everything in your eyes and having to go to the doctors to get them to clean it out. It's not fun. So, wear protection. Gotta take all this off, plus all this, and undo all these bolts over here. Alright, so I've decided this engine bay is going to stay the same the way it is, just because there's a lot of fiddly things, a lot of wiring, a lot of just hoses and stuff that are going all over the place. So if I decide to take this engine out and paint it, that means I got to start from scratch and it'll just take twice as long. So right now, I'm just going to get this engine out and put the other engine in and put it back the same way it was, replace all the things that are needed and go from there. All this gear is what came out of the ute so far. This is the other grill I'm going to put on. So I got a second grill, which I haven't decided if I'm going to make a billet grill out of or not. Just going to have a look and see what they look like, do a bit of Photoshop, and this grill might end up getting a billet grill. You never know. The whole day getting this all pretty much undone, almost ready to come out. But there's one thing I'm missing. Yeah. So just test fitting the turbo to make sure everything works pretty well. This is the new turbo that's going to be going on this. I don't know if you can see that. GT30. It's a 3076 with a 0.82 rear housing. So hopefully I don't spool up too quick, but I don't have too much lag. I'm sort of trying to save the stock engine by not getting on boost so early. So hopefully it makes it run a little bit better. Now this is another eBay special, but should do the job just fine. So I got the gearbox mounts and everything all undone. So the gearbox is all free. Now I've just got to do the last final things, ground cable and stuff for starter and that, aircon and engine mounts, and then this engine should come out. We're almost there. Heater core and everything's out, so I've got a bit more room. I've put the manifold back on now just so I got someone to tie on for the engine crane. All that's left is the engine mounts. Got so close, can't deny. Shut my eyes, love is blind. Engine is out, finally. Bit of a struggle, but it's out. This engine bay has a lot of mess going on right now. Got to clean all this up, but unfortunately made a mess. Sorry, Russell, but engine is out. I'm stoked. Took us about 3 days, but it was well worth it. So now I've got to take everything off this engine to put on a new engine, and we should be pretty sweet. Hopefully, I can get this back in this weekend. Whoa. Fucking slippery. It's been a struggle the last 3 days, but I had help from my housemate Russell. He helped me get the engine and everything out and sorting out the last couple of things on it. I made a bit of an oil mess, but shit happens. Got 4 days. I want to get this engine ready on the other engine to put the other engine in. So 4 to 5 days, hopefully I can get that sorted.